have the language to do it. So I know all of you have a good level of English, but my students may not. So I'm going to give them sentence starters. I'm going to, on a poster or on my board, I'm going to give them the sentences that they need. I'm going to give them the vocabulary that they need, so that when they're talking with partners, they can use these resources. So you need to give them some visuals, some things to see, some translations maybe, these sentence starters, vocabulary, and hands-on materials. Sometimes you call this realia, right? So things that they can see and touch. You also need to give them a safe environment for risk-taking. So you need to make sure that your students know that they are trying the language and it doesn't have to be perfect. Because if it's perfect, they're not going to participate. So it's okay to try and make a mistake. You as the teacher tell them that it's okay. And then you also teach them problem-solving strategies. So what I always told my classroom is before they ask me a question, they need to ask their peers, 3 of their peers. So I say, ask 3 before me. Ask 3 of your peers your question and see if they can answer first, then ask me. If I have 40 students, or here, I don't know how many are here, 80? If I have 80 students, can I answer every question? No, I don't have time. But do some of my students understand? Absolutely, they can be the teachers with me. So I don't need to be the only teacher. If I train my students to help each other, then the focus is not on me. The focus is on the students helping each other. And now I can monitor and only help a few students who really don't have the answer, or help the ones that struggle the most. Okay, so that's that ask 3 before me. For teachers, you need to have behavior management strategies. So practice, they have to learn the routine, the clapping, right? So they need to know what that means. They need to have clear directions. So you might need to write the directions and say them with some clear steps, step by step. Start small. Don't do this every class period next week. Okay? Don't go and say, okay, I'm doing everything new next week. Just pick one lesson, one activity. Make sure you have an attention-getting signal, the clapping. You can do a call and response chant. I say 1, you say 2. I say 3, you say 4. You teach the students a way to get their attention. You have to use a timer, too, to make sure that they have a limited amount of time. So be organized with your behavior management. Start in pairs. So before you move to groups, start with just partners. Partners is easier than groups. So as a teacher, if you're trying new things, start with pairs and groups. Do one activity. Then try multiple activities in a class. Then try your whole class interactive. So start small. Right? Have everybody do the same activity, the toothpicks, everybody do the same one. If you get good at that, have these students do this activity, these students do a different activity, these students do a different activity. If you're really good, have the students pick their challenge. If you're doing science, let them pick their science experiment, and everybody's doing something a little bit different. Move your way up as a teacher. Here's a bunch of resources. I'll leave this up here. Hold on, I know you're going to take a picture, but I'll come back to this. All right, one last thing. If you want your students to be learning, they need to be motivated to learn. They need to want to learn. If you want them to learn, they need to be interested in what they're learning. They will not learn if they don't have motivation. They won't have motivation if they do not have interest. So when you're picking topics to talk about, use their natural curiosity. For young learners, family, friends, home heroes. For older learners, give them a survey and ask them what they'd like to learn at the beginning of class. And then integrate that into your lessons. Okay? So that's all I have. I'm going to leave it back on the slide here. You can search some of these